After 4 months with Linux Mint 22.3, I can finally say this isn't one of those everything is perfect Linux videos. Mint is stable, it's easy to use, I still think it's one of the best distros for normal users, but there are a few things that slowly started annoying me the longer I used it, and these are not beginner complaints. These are things you actually notice when Mint becomes your daily operating system. So, in this video, here are 10 solid things I genuinely dislike about Linux Mint 22.3 after using it for 4 months. First, outdated software in the official repositories. This is probably the biggest one. Linux Mint focuses heavily on stability, which sounds great until you realize some apps are way behind the latest versions. Sometimes you search for software in the software manager, and the version is already months old. For regular users, it may not matter, but if you use newer hardware, newer creative apps, or development tools, it becomes frustrating really fast. You end up relying on Flatpaks, PPAs, app images, or manually installing packages, and at that point, the simplicity advantage of Mint starts fading away. Second, the software manager still feels slow. Even in 22.3, the software manager doesn't feel modern. Opening it takes longer than it should, searching can feel sluggish, and sometimes thumbnails or descriptions load slowly for no reason. Compared to something like GNOME software on Fedora or even the Discover store on KDE, Mint's store still feels old-fashioned. It works, but it doesn't feel smooth or polished. Third, Cinnamon animations still aren't perfect. Now, don't get me wrong, Cinnamon looks clean. But after using higher refresh rate monitors, you start noticing micro-stutters and inconsistent animations. Opening windows, dragging apps, workspace switching, sometimes it feels buttery smooth, and sometimes it suddenly doesn't. Especially if you're using Nvidia graphics, the experience can feel inconsistent. It's not usable, but it definitely doesn't feel as fluid as modern desktop environments like KDE Plasma or even GNOME on Wayland. Fourth, Wayland support is still not really there. This is a big one for newer Linux users. In 2026, Wayland is becoming the standard. Fedora uses it, Ubuntu is moving harder toward it, KDE is improving rapidly, but Mint is still heavily focused on X11. And yes, X11 works fine most of the time, but things like touchpad gestures, HDR progress, fractional scaling behavior, gaming latency improvements, and modern display handling are all moving toward Wayland. Mint currently feels slightly behind in this transition. Fifth, Flatpak integration feels messy sometimes. Mint promotes Flatpaks heavily, but the experience still feels inconsistent. Some Flatpak apps don't follow the system theme properly. Some have weird permissions issues, others take noticeably longer to launch than native packages. You also end up with duplicate apps sometimes, one from apt, one from Flatpak, another from FlatHub. For beginners, this gets confusing quickly. Sixth, battery life could definitely be better on laptops. This surprised me, honestly. Linux Mint is lightweight compared to Windows, but battery optimization still doesn't feel amazing out of the box. On some laptops, especially newer AMD systems, idle battery drain feels higher than expected. You can improve it with tools like TLP or Auto CPU Freak, but that's exactly the issue. You still have to manually optimize things yourself. Meanwhile, some other distributions handle this more intelligently from the start. Seventh, the default themes are starting to look old. Mint's design is clean and familiar, that's true, but after months of use, the UI starts feeling visually dated compared to newer Linux desktops. The icons, window borders, menus, and overall styling feel conservative. Some people love that because it resembles classic desktop computing, but personally, I think Mint needs a modern visual refresh without losing its identity. Eighth, driver handling is still hit or miss sometimes. Especially for Nvidia users, Mint can still become annoying after updates or kernel changes. Most of the time it works perfectly, then suddenly suspend breaks, scaling behaves weird, or gaming performance changes after an update. Mint tries to make drivers easy, but Linux graphics in general still need work, and Mint doesn't completely escape that reality. Ninth, audio device switching can occasionally act weird. This one doesn't happen every day, but when it happens, it's irritating. Sometimes Bluetooth audio reconnects incorrectly, sometimes the wrong microphone becomes default, sometimes HDMI audio randomly takes priority. Pipewire improved Linux audio a lot overall, but Mint still has those classic Linux desktop audio moments where you spend 5 minutes checking settings instead of actually using your computer. And finally, number 10, Linux Mint can feel too safe. This sounds strange, but hear me out. Mint is designed to avoid breaking things, and that's great, but sometimes it also means the distro feels less innovative or exciting compared to others. Big Linux advancements usually appear elsewhere first. New desktop tech, Wayland improvements, modern UI ideas, newer kernels, faster package systems. Mint tends to adopt things later after they become stable. That approach makes sense for reliability, but for enthusiasts, it can sometimes feel like Mint is always slightly behind where Linux is heading. Now, despite all of this, I still think Linux Mint is one of the best Linux distros for normal people, especially beginners moving from Windows. But 4 months is enough time to move beyond the honeymoon phase, and these are the things I genuinely noticed during long-term daily use. Some of these issues may never bother you, others might drive you crazy depending on your hardware and workflow. That's the reality of Linux. No distro is perfect. And honestly, that's what makes these discussions interesting.